So, plenty of people have asked me if they need to cover their figs during the winter. I'm in zone 7A, and I do have some in-ground fig trees that I don't cover. I just throw some mulch leaves at the base, and they seem to do fine. I do, however, have three first-year trees that I don't trust to be strong enough to make it through the winter just yet. So I'll be covering them in this video. So these guys are going to go into the garage today. They look really good. Nice and strong. They gave us a lot of figs this year. This one here is a white Greek. And the other one, looks like Chase is keeping an eye on it for me. Thank you, Chase. This one here is a Chicago Hardy. And that'll go in the garage today as well. All right, so I'm going to cover these guys today because even though the weather forecasts say it went down to about 34, 35 overnight, when I got up this morning, my thermometer said 28, and it's been below 30 several times. So these guys are definitely ready for some protection for the winter, and we're going to do that today. So what I plan to do is use tomato cages. Never tried this before, but I'm going to put a tomato cage over each one. This guy here, this Chicago Hardy, I'm going to tie it a little bit closer together, put a tomato cage over them. This one here is the Italian 258, and then I have a dark Portuguese over here. And so the tomato cage is going to go over the tree, and then I'm going to put some mulched leaves into the cage. I have some monstrous oak trees, so I got no shortage of shredded leaves around, mulch leaves. So that's going to be in the cage also. Before that though, however, I'm going to wrap them in burlap. So it'll be wrap them in burlap, put the cage over top, fill the cage with leaves, then wrap that with a tarp. And let me go get everything I need, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Good. Okay, so I'm going to tie this guy up first, and they're all nice and pliable, so by doing that you're not going to hurt them. And what I want to do is just make sure that I have them in kind of close, because I'm going to be putting the tomato cage on top of this. All right, and then that'll hold that. And then what I'm going to do is, just like I did with these guys, I'm going to put the burlap around here, wrap the burlap around here and the one over there, and then I have the tomato cage upside down on it, and then we'll wrap it in bubble wrap to give it some extra insulating. So let me do the burlap now, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, so that's nice and covered, and I'm going to put the tomato cage on it. Basically, this is for structure. Some people like to put sticks, or I've seen people put PVC pipes around them. This is for structure. I saw somebody do it, and I thought, oh, what a neat idea. And so now he's ready to be wrapped in bubble wrap. And then once I do the bubble wrap, then we're going to put in some mulched leaves in here, which will be right around the burlap, give it some extra increased warmth. Okay. Okay, so for just a little extra stability in case we get a windy day in the winter, which we might, these little garden hooks, just going to put them down there just to make sure that everything stays where I expect it to stay. There we go. And that'll help a little bit. And I'll find a couple more for them. And that way it's not going anywhere. Okay. Okay, so there is the dark Portuguese. I think he's finished. So I got him wrapped into bubble wrap. I know some people don't like it, but it's an extra layer of air to help insulate it. Inside of that, so basically in between the burlap and the bubble wrap, is a bunch of mulched leaves, mulched oak leaves. Stuff them in there. I don't stuff them in there real heavy, you know, I don't pack them in there, but I put them in there so we get some air in between them, so that, again, everything is for insulation and make sure it doesn't freeze, or that it doesn't get too wet and rot the tree. Buckets on the top so that I can take it off when I need to for a little bit of venting. And then the other thing is, if we get a lot of snow this year, I'll be out here every time it snows just to make sure that the snow is not on the bucket to weigh it down needlessly. Okay, so I'm going to finish the next two. This one's already wrapped here. I got to put the leaves in there. And then this one here, I'm going to do that also. But I think what I may do is put another layer on this guy here. And basically I'm going to take a contractor bag and wrap that around it and see if that can be an extra layer of insulation. So I'm going to try it and I'll let you know. Okay, change of plans. This is a contractor bag. What I did, I cut the bottom of the bag out and just slid it down over top of the bubble wrap. So that leaves a space between the bag and the bubble wrap, and that is where I filled with the mulched leaves, giving that extra layer of insulation. And the reason I like the contractor bag is because it'll attract some warmth from the sun and heat up the interior of that whole enclosure. It's vented in the top, so I'm not worried about too much moisture and condensation. And I'll be putting a bucket on top of that. Okay, so the bubble wrap I've had sitting around in the basement for a while. Over the years you get things delivered and it comes in bubble wrap and all. And I thought, hey, maybe I'll use this for something someday. And I know some people don't like when you use bubble wrap for this, but I'm going to give it a shot. For the reasons that I'm thinking it'll be a benefit. I hope I'm not wrong. But I think this is going to work really well. Alright, so let me just clip this a little bit. And Jay's here to help. Do me a favor, hand me the scissors, will you? Thank you. So I just want to tie this on enough so that it doesn't just fall apart on me. And the next step is the contractor bag. I'll show you how I do that. Okay. So, nice contractor bag. Just going to take the bottom of the bag not the flared end or tapered end. I'm going to cut the bottom of the bag off. Voila! So, that thing is right on top. Now this, at the bottom, I'm going to put some stones. So my wife put these stones around the trees earlier this year to make them look pretty. Yeah, but they have other uses too. I'm going to use them to keep the bottom of the bag in place. Okay. Now the bag is going to get mulch leaves. And like I said, I'm not going to push them down or anything because I don't want to get them too concentrated in there. What I really want is the insulating value, and the air between the leaves is as much a factor as the leaves themselves. You don't have to worry about filling the bag the bag all the way up, because, I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not that concerned about it. I'm more concerned that the lower portion of the tree gets protected from the winter. If some of the branches at the top die off in the winter, that's okay. We'll just cut them in the spring and the plant won't really care. But I want to make sure that the roots are protected, and I want to make sure that the bottom of the tree is protected. So I'll tie this off here, put the bag in place. And my trash can. That works. So like I said, if it snows this year, some years we don't have any snow at all. But if it does snow this year, every time it snows, I'll be out here just making sure that none of it collects on top of the buckets to weigh anything down. And I think we should be in pretty good shape. We're going to do a little more leaves later on because we still have some coming down. And what I can do is put some mulch leaves around the base also, just as a little added protection. And I think everybody will make it through the winter just fine. Fingers crossed. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, you want to consider subscribing, that'd be great. Or just click the like button and maybe hit the bell so that you'll know when I do other videos. It'll notify you. And Chase, thank you very much. Bye-bye. All right, guys, see you in the spring.